Welcome to Tone and Grooves, a Shellac Stacks listening session. That was that first tune kicking off was a Charlie Barnett and his orchestra song called Redskin Rumba. Redskin Rumba, quite politically incorrect in these days, in this era, but that's what it's called, Redskin Rumba. It is from 1940, swingin' tune. Just a super swinging tune. I dig Charlie Barnett, saxophone player, tenor sax, and yeah, just a super cool tune. So that is, I mean, pretty much this whole episode, which is being done in a new way. We'll see how this recording ends up, how it turns out, because I just recently upgraded the operating system on my Mac, and since then my Audacity software that I used for recording audio doesn't work. Apparently it's an Apple thing designed specifically to keep us from using non-Apple software, is what I was reading on the internet. So at least it makes it difficult, so it doesn't interact, Audacity, with the whatever operating system, I forget what it is, that I have on my Mac. So I'm using GarageBand now for the very first time. I literally, found it on the App Store, downloaded it, put it on, did a couple of quick tests, played around a little bit, just to get a basic idea of how it works. And now we're jumping in. So we'll see how this all turns out. Hopefully well. Like I said, that was and my Mac is going to change screens, and I won't be able to see what I'm doing here. That's not good. I'm going to have to adjust that. Anyway, Redskin Rumba on a Bluebird. See if that is kind of far away, but on a Bluebird number B-10944 from 1940. Up next is an Andrew Sister song. This was by request. It's been a long... I don't know if you can really see that. The light's not so good. I'll try to get some photographs and splice those in. But it's been a long time since I did a Shellac Stack listening session. And in some... Shellac finds videos that I did right before I kind of took a break for a month or so. I had a couple of videos. One of some digging for records in a junk shop, and then in an antique store, and in the vinyl finds, if you will, videos. As I shared those, I had a request to play this song by the Andrews Sisters. It's called One Meatball. And I believe it was Oddbox Topper. Hey Topper, if you're watching. Oddbox Topper who requested it. And I still got a little bit of dust hanging off here. Let's get that off. He specifically requested that I play this Andrew Sister song, One Meatball, because he said he was familiar with a cover of this song done by, who was it? I don't remember now. Anyway, but he had not heard the Andrew Sisters version. So we're going to listen to, and this is also from 1940. Yes, 1940. This is the Andrews Sisters performing One Meatball.
A little man walked up and down and found an eating place in town. He looked the menu through and through to see what 15 cents could do. One meatball, one meatball. He could afford but one meatball. He told a waiter near at hand the simple dinner he had planned. The folks were startled, one and all, to hear that waiter loudly call, one meatball, one meatball. Hey, this here gent wants one meatball. The little man felt ill at ease and said, some bread, sir, if you please. The waiter's voice roared through the hall, you get no bread with one meatball. One meatball, one meatball. You get no bread with one meatball. Bad, for one meatball was all he had. Now in his dreams he hears that call, you get no bread with one meatball. One meatball, one meatball. You get no bread with one meatball. One meatball, one meatball. You get no bread with one meatball.
there you have the Andrews Sisters with One Meatball. And as I was listening and had time to think and get my thoughts collected, the cover or the version that Topper was familiar with was by Roy Cooter. Roy Cooter? Is it Roy Cooter? Roy Cooter. Ray Cooter? That's terrible. Anyway, yeah. And Rye Cooter. Rye Cooter? This is terrible. Getting old, I guess. Yeah. And I have to make a correction because I said that was from 1940. It's actually from 1944. So One Meatball, the Andrews Sisters from 1944. Just interesting little side note about the Andrews Sisters. I recently read volume 1 of a 2-volume biography of Bing Crosby. And, Bing Crosby did a number of sides with the Andrews Sisters. I don't know how many records they did together, but a lot. And it was interesting because that biography talked about how, you would think that having made, so many records together, that they knew each other well, and that, Bing was basically friends with the Andrews Sisters, but he wasn't. And it sounds like this is kind of the way Bing Crosby operated. He would just kind of, there's a starting time for the recording session, so he would just show up, sing the song, and be done. And then he'd leave and go to the golf course or the racetrack or whatever. And there just, oftentimes there just wasn't a lot of, camaraderie or interaction between he and the other artists that he was, recording with. So really kind of interesting background information there. So that's One Meatball, 1944, Decca number 18636. I'll show it again. I don't know if it's going to come up on the video. Up next, I thought I would play a song here by Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra. I think I mentioned this in one of those videos, that this is actually one that cracked, and it's a super cool. I was just immediately intrigued by the title of the song. It's called Tennessee Fish Fry. It's from, says here, from the musical production American Jubilee. Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra. You have Helen O'Connell on the vocal, and I cracked it, and you can I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I kind of repaired it by taping it on the ends there. The downside to that method is that it sometimes you get, if you're not careful, you get that tape like right up into the grooves. So I didn't plan this out well ahead of time. I'm going to have to get that lined up. There we go. So this is Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra from 1940 on Decca Records. It's called Tennessee Fish Fry.
been to a Tennessee fish fry? Ain't you never fished for your dinner down south? If you've never been to a Tennessee fish fry, then you never had a chunk of heaven right in your mouth. You ain't tasted cornbread when it's drowned in a pound of butter. You ain't swung your sweetest gal around in a do-si-do if you've never been to a Tennessee fish fry. There's an awful lot about a picnic that you don't know.
Fun tune there with Jimmy Dorsey and his orchestra. Helen O'Connell on vocals singing Tennessee Fish Fry on Decca Records from 1940. Fun song, and you could hear a little bit of a click there. The first 30 seconds or so, maybe, if that long, from that crack, but it plays through. So the tape method hopefully will keep that crack from getting worse, and it'll stay. If it stays tight there, it will always play. Up next is a record by a group called the Four Clefs, which I picked up just on a whim, because I was intrigued by the song on the B-side here called The Jive is Jumpin'. It's on Bluebird Records, and these are just, there we go, that might show up. Bluebird, this is from 1939, and at the time, I didn't know anything about the Four Clefs, still don't know a whole lot. But you've got piano, guitar, bass, and drums with a vocal on The Jive is Jumpin'. Really fun, swinging tune. And I believe it was Eric Weinbender who made a comment on that video when I showed this originally, and clarified for me that jive was slang back in the day for marijuana. So, The Jive is Jumpin' by the Four Clefs.
There's a hideout in the depths of Harlem. It's a sizzling red-hot rendezvous where the folks about town all gather round, high hats from the avenue. Every night till break of day, cats all idle time away. Down at Joe's where crowds are gay and the jive is jumping. Jive is jumping. Vipers swaying everywhere, no one seems to have a care. Everyone is merry there, jive is jumping. Jive is jumping. While the band is swinging out, jitterbugs are jumping about. Suddenly you hear them shout, come on fellas, let's get mellow. Whip up tea and snug and rye, knock till you hit the sky. Everything goes floating by, jive is jumping. Jive is jumping. time away. Down at Joe's where crowds are gay, jive is jumping,
Jive is jumping.
vipers swing everywhere. No one seems to have a care. Everyone is merry there and the jive is jumping,
Jive is jumping.
while the band is swinging now. Jitterbugs are jumping about. Suddenly you hear them shout, come on fellas, let's get mellow with some tea, slug a ride, knock you till you hit the sky. Everything goes floating by and the jive is jumping,
Jive is jumping.
oh the jive is jumping, them cats is jumping, oh everybody jumping, and the jive is jumping.
Cool song, very cool. Knowing what jive is a euphemism for makes some of those lyrics make more sense. So, yeah, the Four Clefs on Bluebird from, what did I say, 1939. Yep, Bluebird, 8297. The jive is jumping. All right, we are almost to 30 minutes, so we'll play one more song. And what I got ready here is a Woody Herman and his orchestra, also from 1939, on Decca. Let's see, which one are we going to go with? We got Woodchopper's Ball on one side, and we got Bigwig and the Wigwam. Given the fact that we started off with the Redskin Rumba, let's go Bigwig and the Wigwam. Totally politically incorrect, uncorrect, whatever. But a fun song. And swinging, from what I remember. So, this is Woody Herman and his orchestra from 1939 doing Bigwig in the Wigwam. It's on Decca number 2440.
Bigwig in the wigwam, looking for some pom-pom. Bom, 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 bom. Bigwig in the wigwam, looking for a rainstorm. Boom, 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 boom. Keep on praying, keep on playing. Oh, Bigwig in the wigwam, looking for some pom-pom. Boom, 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 boom.
nice, swinging, hot tune. That was fun. Bigwig in the wigwam. And on vocals there was Mary Ann McCall. Mary Ann McCall singing with Woody Herman and his orchestra. Bigwig in the wigwam. Decca 2440 from 1939. We're coming up on 30 minutes, so I think I'm going to call it quits, especially since I got to see how everything works now with using GarageBand instead of Audacity, see how that comes out, how that sounds, how it works, how it interacts with iMovie and all of that. Hopefully it'll work well. So anybody out there who can offer some suggestions on software to use to do this recording, be greatly appreciated. What have you used? What works for you? Is GarageBand the thing? Is there something better? And if there is, I'm always looking for free or at least super cheap. So yeah, I'm not looking to spend, big money on software. So anyway, hopefully the GarageBand thing works. We'll see how it goes. Thanks so much for watching, for listening in, for swinging along with me with these old-timey tunes from the 30s and 40s. Thanks for subscribing. That is always appreciated, never expected. And please, drop some comments, chime in. I love the interaction and always appreciate that. So please feel free and engage in that way here at the Shellac Stacks. And hopefully another Shellac Stacks listening session will be coming up again soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, stay in the groove.